Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. Folding phones. Folding phones are here to stay, folks, and they are always going to be. Some people are just not on board. I'm on board because I'm actually into folding phones, and I see the advantages of having a folding phone. So smartphones today are coming to a point where they've plateaued. You now have tri-fold folding phones. Shout out to my girl Gigi, she grabbed hers already. You have tri-fold phones. And you have this regular traditional folding phones. Here are 4 folding phones from 3 manufacturers. These are obviously my Samsungs, my Google, and my OnePlus. This is just, to me, we're hitting a stage in smartphone history where folding phones are rising. And I believe this to be true because OEMs are making more versions of folding phones. They are not backing down. Sales on folding phones are better than what people try to put out there. You might see, oh, folding phones don't sell well. Folding phones aren't sturdy. That's just simply not true. Flat out. There are so many reasons why a folding phone is way better than a traditional slab style phone, but that's subjective to a lot of people. I say objectively, I think it is a better experience. Not because I am pro folding phones, but I just feel like all OEMs should at least make an effort and an attempt to bring a folding phone. I think it would make consumers really happy. And as long as Samsung has been making folding phones, OnePlus stepped into the folding phone arena in the United States. We don't have to pay a lot of money. The OnePlus Open turned out to be one of the best smartphones I purchased in 2024. It turned out to be that way, and that is just the thing. Now, some of the features and advantages to a folding phone are simple. You get better multitasking. So I have some things open here. I just decided to open up a few things. This is a three spread multitasking window here for the OnePlus Open. I think this is super cool. It's really, look at this, letting me know to do like this if I want to switch. I used this feature a long time ago, but typically I just keep 2 up, if I'm being honest. But nonetheless, multitasking, folks, is better on a foldable device. Period. It's just better. Simply put, it is just a better experience. And I can leave those down here in the taskbar. So then I have 2 devices open. I could do it like this. I have Threads over here and Instagram over here. It's just better experience because this is like having 2 phone screens. Multitasking with a split view is absolutely the way to go. Period. And if you look at multitasking on the Samsung phone, it is different. You have smaller windows. You'll have 2 windows, a window here and then 2 over here. It's just a thing. It's just going to be how you like to multitask, because every OEM is going to bring a different version of multitasking. There's no wrong way. So let's see here. Let me see if I can add something. Where's my Canva? And then I can put Canva here. And then with Samsung, I can do a floating window. And I can do another window down here. It's all about how the OEM is going to allow you to multitask. So multitasking, folks, is a beautiful thing. Simply put, it's better on foldable devices. There is no getting around it, period. That is it. Now, another advantage to having a folding device is this. You get a much better viewing experience. The larger canvases are simply better. Period. There is no denying this. You got this beautifully large display. When you fire up a video on this thing, it's gonna be sick in comparison to a regular slab style display. Now here's a video playing on this particular device, and you can see half of the screen is taking up, but it's still a full display. It's very large. Now we're gonna bring in a large screen device with the same video, and we're gonna play it, and just to see how it looks. So as you can see here, you're getting almost as much real estate from this big screen device. This is the S24 Ultra. Yes. Now let's look at this device. And if you sit them like this, you can actually see that you're still getting more resolution and more display, even though I haven't even gone full screen on this foldable device. It still gets the same resolution and a lot more, actually, probably a little bit more screen, a hair more, or about the same. But with this device, I can go full screen and go big like this. and you get an even immersive, just a more better looking display. So if I go zoom and then I go zoom on here, look at the differences here. Way more immersive, just a better experience. So some of you are going to say, oh, John, Jay cuts off some of the phone, the video. Yes, it does. So you have the ability to partially zoom how you want to zoom in on the device. So full zoom, you can even go even more. Wow, that's pretty. And you can do that on this too. But looking at them like this, for the most part, you're going to get a better experience on a folding device. It's way more immersive. This isn't a selling point. I don't have to sell you. I already own these phones. I'm just telling you, folding phones are the future, and you have to get on board at some point or another. What would you guys do if they just eliminated slab style phones, or they start producing as many and they start giving all the flagship qualities to folding phones? All of you guys would move over and enjoy the advantages of a folding phone. Now, not just speaking of how immersive the displays are, they're really good for productivity as well. Responding to emails, text messages, you can edit on one side, do pictures on one side, drop text on the next. It's just so much better with multitasking on big displays like this. And this particular folding phone has two larger, shorter displays, so it'll be even better for taking care of business, I'd say. Now, what's another advantage to having a folding device? Well, you can fold away a tablet. And before you fold away any of these tablets, you even have phones like this. For those that are scared to really make a full transition from a slab phone to a folding phone, look at how compact this folds away. It's literally half the size of the phone. And I'm wearing a case and it's still extremely thin when you think about how thin it is with each part of the device. Same thickness as a regular slab phone, but you get to fold it away. That's an advantage for having a folding device. You can fold away a tablet in your pocket. These are some pretty big phones when they're folded open because it's a tablet. This is what we want. But you get to fold it away into a regular style phone. And again, this one is even more stubbier and compact, but I think there's no denying that the Samsung here, this one is the most comfortable to hold because it's so narrow. It's just a narrow slab device, and this is going to be an advantage to a lot of people. But then you fold it open into a full-blown tablet. Why are people not trying folding phones yet? I just don't get it. You gotta love that. Yeah, being able to fold these away and just have it a full-size tablet pop open like this. It's an incredible thing to experience, and I'm saddened that a lot of people just are not there yet. And it's pretty much the OEMs are giving you a portable tablet. You get all the enhancements that you want, but you can close it away and make regular phone. This holds a regular bar style phone, and it's just you're holding a regular size phone. It's incredible. I'm still in shock and in awe. And this video is inspired by all the people that are just still commenting saying they just don't know about folding phones. Now, one disadvantage I'll say that some folding phones have is price. But the promotions that you can get on these folding phones, they will give you $1,200 or $1,000 or $1,100 for a slab phone to get you to transition to a folding phone. And folks, I think once you start using folding phones, you will have trouble going back. I'm telling you, you will have lots of trouble going back to a regular slab phone, period. Now, some people are going to say, well, those aren't flagships. Absolutely, they're flagships. I mean, flagship to me is more along the lines of the processor that's inside. It's going to be dealing with performance, all of which of these have high-end processors. They all have a good sized battery. Now, battery is subjective, so yeah, but I can fairly say here, after assessing all these phones, these particular phones have phenomenal battery, but battery life always depends on you. This is my battery experience with these. They all can last me well into 2 days. This one pushing 2 days, almost 2 days, but these can definitely get me into 2 days, and this one can go past 2 days, and so can this one. So It's just going to be about your personal experience and what you have on your phone, how you're using your phone. A lot goes into battery, but I do want to be transparent about that. I don't always get 2.5 days. Some days I get 1.5. Some days I get 2. But the point is, these are flagship qualities, and I think you should be, by today's standards, you should be able to buy these devices and not have to charge them every day. And you can go every other day with charging. So you've got all these things like batteries, and another thing that makes something a flagship quality device is the cameras. And that is where this phone excels extremely. Not to say that these others don't, because you all know that I've used all of these to record videos with, and we're just speaking in general, but I have to talk about the phones I have on the table. This one has the least impressive video set of cameras, but it has the best set of photo cameras. But other than that, these three are kind of well balanced. They have really strong video, and this one in particular has strong video and strong photos. So there's a ton of flagships out there in the world that are foldables. You just need to get your hands on them. That is the key. And you're gonna have to experience them. So choose wisely. So if you're a OnePlus fan, obviously you only have one foldable, and your foldable is top notch. If I was gonna rank a foldable for the year, it would probably be the OnePlus Open. But if you're a Samsung fan or a Google fan, you now have options for folding phones. Take the risk. Get in there, try it out. So flagships consist of a strong battery, excellent cameras, performance has to be on par, and it has to be compatible with carriers. I mean, you can't just limit it to just talking about hardware and things like that. Software is going to be subjective because all of these are Android phones, and unfortunately, Apple hasn't brought a foldable phone yet. There's no Windows foldable phone, but there's a Windows foldable phone that's still good that I still recommend. To me, it will always be one of the best foldable phones ever made. This Microsoft Surface original version still works. I still use it. It still makes phone calls. It still does everything all of these do, with the exception of having better video and things like that. Other than that, to me, this should have been a Windows folding device, and it would have been perfect. No one wanted Android on a Windows device that's going to be folding. It was a miss and it was a fail, but the device is still really good. And there's also a second version of this device with big old camera module that looks like this on the back that people actually like, but I think a lot of people loved this version. And if you have this version, shout it out in the comments, because this is one of the best folding phones ever made. You get to stay on the table, homie. You are like my little surprise, but you get to stay here. But yeah, there's so many enhancements and things that come along with having a foldable over slab phones. It's just a thing. So there are a lot of people that might have phones this size right here. When you think about the size of this, the display is about the size of this particular, the hardware, everything. Everything is so close to foldables with all the slab phones. Some people are just missing out. Now, again, I've already talked about price. But you can get some of the best deals on foldable phones by doing trade-ins with your slab phones. It's just how it is, because I think OEMs are trying to get people to switch over to folding devices. So when you consider you've got a wide variety of folding phones, almost all of them possess some flagship capabilities, if not all flagship capabilities and characteristics. It's just going to be a matter of the wide variety of budget that you have to spread yourself thin through. So obviously the most affordable foldable is going to be a foldable like this. They have this style of foldable for $500. Motorola has a lot of foldables in that price range like this style. Now, while this style of foldable doesn't have the same multitasking as these, it still gives you that compact, ready to go in your pocket foldable that stores away. Now, a lot of people talk about the durability of foldable phones. Can honestly say, I have dropped all of these phones and they all survived. Some of them on concrete and they survived. And they're in ultra thin cases, man. Yeah, they're a little nicked up, but nothing broke and they kept going. And how often have you really dropped your slab phone on a hard surface? Everybody babies their phones now, so there is no getting around it. Foldable phones have a place. It's just like anything in the world. just like electric cars. It took me years to get on board with electric cars, but now that I'm on, I see the advantages. And so I think that if you can just get past your fears of, oh, I might drop it and it's destroyed forever, the battery life's not going to be good. There's certain things that people just don't feel they can get past, and I respect that. But I'm humbly telling you, folding phones are coming, and they're going to come in strong here in a little bit, and we're going to have to get on board. I say we as consumers, because what's going to happen when they slow down on the production of slab phones and push these in your face? You're going to buy one because they're going to make it they're going to make it really easy for you to get one. They'll bring the prices down really low, get you in there, then raise the prices back up. That's how they've done it with slab phones. Slab phones used to be subsidized on carriers, and you could just walk in and not pay anything, but you're with them for 2 years. I suspect that in the future, folding phones are going to be accessible that way first, and then we'll move back to the way we have it now, where people are just pretty much trading in and having subsidized phones. The carriers are carrying the note. That's why people, you don't see a lot of people promoting a lot of carrier deals now, because there really aren't any. They're promoting their plans not being contracts, but the phones are the contracts when you finance through the phone. So they might as well go back to subsidized phones, stay locked to the carriers. You stay on the carrier of your choice, and you have a great folding phone. So my final thoughts is, I think that some of the best phones are going to depend on your experience, but I review phones, and I use slab phones, and I use folding phones, and I use all types of phones. And I think that when it comes to using a slab phone, once you experience and have a good experience with a folding phone, it's going to be very difficult to go back to a slab phone. It is. It's your man Jay. I hope you guys enjoyed. Flagships are on the rise, and it's going to be flagship folding phones. Stay locked.